Welcome to the program Transforming Lives One at a Time. I am your host, Deanne, and of course this program is geared to effecting change on the social landscape. We want to provide you with information that is relevant, information that can bring change and ensure that you become the best version of yourself. You can check us out on our social media platform. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube, Transforming Lives One at a Time. Well, today we are going to be talking about drug rehabilitation. All right, my guests today, two guests. I have Miss Marva Berkeley, and she's a PRO of the non-governmental organization Changing Lanes. And with her today is Mr. Donald Wills. Lady and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
I almost said Mills, but of course we know how that came about, right?
Yes.
Well, Marva, first of all, tell us about the NGO Changing Lanes, how long it has been in existence, and what it is that you bring to the general public.
Okay, so Changing Lanes came about as a result of the closure of the rehab center. We had a rehab center run by the THA at the fort that was Trek. And in 2018, well, a little prior to that, the manager, Mr. Gavin Cole, God rest his soul, he passed away, and not too long after the drug rehab was closed. So there became a vacuum then in society because you have addicts, persons with addiction issues not having anywhere to go except maybe to Trinidad, which is difficult for, their loved ones to check in on them. So hence the reason a group of us who worked at the rehab decided to get together and form a group by the name of Changing Lanes. So Changing Lanes was registered in 2021, and after that, once we became registered and everything, we made several attempts at getting like a place to have an in-house program, or just to affect the whole situation with drug and drug rehabilitation. At the early stages of Changing Lanes, there was a competition that Digicel had out for NGOs who really have a program that will impact society and a really good sustainable program. And there are many applicants. We got to the top of that to get a grant. Yes, to get a grant of $100,000 to get this program up and running. However, sad to say, we weren't able to qualify for it because we needed the then THA to support by paying the rent, and they would give the money towards other aspects of the program, but that wasn't possible at that time. So it's like we came this close.
Wow.
But it didn't happen, so that's just a little history on Changing Lanes. For about 3 months, we had a walk-in program where persons could come in and get counseling, get help. That lasted for about 3 months.
Right.
We had to move from that building and go to somewhere else, and then that new place wanted $4,000, which wasn't available at that time. So that's Changing Lanes in a nutshell.
Wow. Because my next question is, what kind of impact? Because, even though it was for a very short period, and of course we are hoping that by the end of this program, after our viewers would have seen this program, that Changing Lanes would be up and running 100% again.
Yes.
That is our goal here today.
Yes.
So just tell us a little bit about the impact in the short time. How were you able to touch and transform lives?
All right, so Changing Lanes worked also with Narcotics Anonymous and Alcohol Anonymous. These two groups would have meetings at different times, like about 3 times a week. Now, Changing Lanes, supported by those two groups, we had persons who maybe at NA or at AA come in for extended therapy, you know, to share their situations, to get help, where we would try to support them in terms of odd jobs. Because I remember there was one guy, one of his main issues was employment, you know, so we would try to get them jobs to do weed whacking or different things so that they could sustain themselves and not and come off the habit of selling and also the habit of using. Right. So it worked well, and it was in a central place by where the cooperative society is in Scarborough, Sangsters Hill. So it was at a central place. So you had persons being able to just come in, talk, get counsel, get help.
Because it's very interesting, because when we look at what is taking place in our societies today, we see the drug blocks. We see the kind of persons that are hooked. The bars are always filled.
Yes.
if it's one business place that is very thriving, is the bars, and even the drug use. When we look at a lot of young persons, even older persons being hooked on alcohol, and I think it's very sad to see that in Tobago, we don't have the kind of support for persons wanting to make a positive impact, because we are seeing the repercussion of the actions. And I think it's very disheartening, you know, because especially for an organization such as yours, in terms of where you are seeing the impact, you're seeing people's lives being transformed, you're seeing the changes, and we can't get this up and running, maybe because the right persons didn't hear about it before. But as I said, by the end of this program, we're going to ensure the right people hear about this. Well, based on what I have read about your organization, you constantly receive referrals from courts, probation officers, workplaces, as well as the general public. And it says to me, and I'm sure to others that will be viewing this program, that changing lanes is much needed in the Tobago space as you continue to assist the vulnerable in society. Tell us about some of the collaborations with other stakeholders.
Okay, so you know, a lot of what you just shared there is really true. There is a need for intervention, because you have persons in all different walks of life, whether they started using alcohol, marijuana, you know, any substance. They may have started for recreation.
Yes.
Then they moved from recreation to self-medication.
Yes.
And then it would have gone into addiction. Because and I will just go back to Trek a little bit and then come forward to Changing Lanes. When Trek was in operation, I remember distinctly there were at least 3 or 4 persons that came from T&Tech, one establishment, where at the workplace, because of the decrease in production, and their employers realized that they had a problem with substance, which is substance and was alcohol. They recommended them to attend this rehab, you know, to bring about the necessary change.
Yes.
So we had referrals from business places seeking help for their employees. Also, we had references from the court, like the court, rather than give somebody a full sentence in person, they would give them a shortened sentence, but part of the time they must attend the rehab sessions so that that change will come about, because we went to Justice Lucky's court a few times.
Right.
We also deal with the probation office. They would come, you know, also different areas. So you have the public sector in terms of employers, and then you also have the court system. Changing Lanes under drug rehab is also in the prison once a week to enable the prisoners there who have substance issues to, you know, get that change and help them with life skills, right? So all these interventions in the help. Now, everybody wouldn't make it at the same time. The success, because of the whole addiction in nature, which Donald will share with us a little later on. You know, you have that fallout, fall back in, fallout, fall back in, but there are some that really grasp it and they run with, and they are success stories.
Yes, yes, they're success stories. As I always say, many times you don't hear these success stories. You would just, and the media, the media, you'd always hear, okay, so many bad news. And whenever someone receives good news or there is a success story to be told, you never find the media. You never find the media, but I am hoping that would change. Yes, bad news sells. Well, let me bring in Mr. Wills here at this time. Mr. Wills, welcome again.
Glad to be here.
Yes. Well, just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came into contact with Changing Lanes.
Well, I'm Donald. I'm considered an addict. I consider myself a recovering addict as well. I've been clean and sober for 37 years.
Wow.
5 months and some 28 days, yes.
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you much. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Where do I start?
Wow.
Nobody intended to be an addict. Nobody ever intends to be an alcoholic. Nobody.
Okay.
Right? Looking back is 20/20 vision. So I can sit now after all these years and look back and see patterns that I wasn't seeing before.
Okay.
Now, imagine we're going by the beach, right? We have a whole society and all of us go to the beach for many different reasons.
Yes.
Some go for recreation. You know, we use drugs for recreation, right? So I'm analogizing it.
Yes.
Some people go for exercise. You see them swimming up and things.
Yes.
So some people take drugs as an enhancement to boost their strength and other abilities. We take drugs to enhance our dancing, our ability to talk to people. Some just go to just chill out. You know, we take drugs to chill out too, you know.
Right.
We could drop down our hair, we could get almost, well, strip off and have fun, run up and down and things now. You know, we like the beach, the drugs is there for everybody and the whole society is available there, right? So the difference is now that everybody that go to the beach, not everybody that drinks alcohol becomes an alcoholic.
Okay.
And I will say something a little graphic. Not everybody that goes to the beach drunks. The beach is available to everyone. Drugs and alcohol is available to everyone, but not everyone becomes susceptible to it.
Okay.
I remember when I go to the beach, I would put a marker where I came in the water, and because I'm having so much fun, I drift. And I'm unaware of the drift until I get back focused and I realize, but I moved from where I'm supposed to be. Okay. Many of us get into substances and we drift because we end up where we never intended to be.
Right.
Some of us, again, we might be encouraged by people saying, let's swim out of there. And friends tell us, hey, try this. And we sometimes want to swim out a little buoy but not everybody could sustain that. Some people get into trouble.
Yes.
And some could come back in, friends carry us, but they don't bring us back, right? So what is addiction? Addiction is the person that gets caught up in the riptide, that swims out and gets tired, that drifts to a point where they start to flail in the water because they get into trouble, that others around them not in, but they are.
Okay.
They haven't died as yet, but they are in trouble. People on the shore could see that they are in trouble. Our loved one knows that something is wrong, but they are powerless to do anything about it. Because we there in the water, gasping, if we are not helped, we will die. But at that point in time, we are powerless to help ourselves. We may be struggling, trying our best to make it happen, but it's not happening, and we are there being submerged and crying out for help.
Yes.
But we didn't plan it. We end up where we're in a situation more powerful than ourselves. And if there is not an intervention, it's going to be curtains for us. as has happened, whether by jails or end up in an institution or dying, right? Luckily, on the beach there are lifeguard stations, lifeguard stations. And I want to highlight the lifeguard station as these NGOs that try to help. In Trinidad has about 12 of them that I know about. Stations that could send someone to intervene and bring the person and try to resuscitate them. They're not a full medical station, but they can do an immediate first contact help to resuscitate the person, to bring them back, to put them back into society again, where they can go home to their family and enjoy a normal living life. So look at the addict not as so much, look at them as being in trouble.
Okay.
Not so much trapped, but in trouble because they caught, the riptide catch them, they're trying to swim, they don't have the knowledge necessary to deal with it. They find that they catch a cramp and they sink in, and they're really trying and they can't really help it anymore because at that point in time, it's way beyond them. At that point in time, do they need this kind of thing from the society where everybody look down on them? No, an addict does need help.
Okay.
And one of the first things they need is knowledge and a place where they can come out from that place where they are daily.
Right.
And be provided with an opportunity to build new daily patterns that when they are reinstated back in society, they can keep this new pattern that they have gained and don't return to the old one.
Understood.
If they don't get an opportunity to change the patterns, change the lane,
Changing lanes.
they will not be able to successfully reintegrate because they will slip back into the old mold. And if you keep on doing the same thing, you will probably get the same result.
Let us talk about, because you know when you're in, an addict is in this situation.
They're drowning.
Yeah, they are drowning. They need help,
Yes.
but many times they don't reach out for help. Is it that many persons don't want to admit that they are in trouble?
That is the trouble.
They don't want to admit.
Yes.
Okay.
But here is where the lifeguard could come in and help, because the court does referral, jobs do referral, that the addict can get help in spite of themselves. Because once the substances is inside, it's hard for them to really think beyond it. So that space where they can detox is crucial. I am a product of Cora. I spent 6 weeks there, and it worked for me because I saw the value in it, in getting that new pattern existing. When I went back outside, I kept the pattern I got in the rehab center, and I superimposed it on my life outside. And I've never been back to the same species I've been since then. It works. Yeah? So that ability to come out from the environment, even if it's temporary, it does a great, 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 great positive thing to any addict, even if they know it or not. One of the guys I'm in a meeting with, his job sent him, and he was pissed. He said he will sue them when he go back out because they're embarrassing him. And he said after about 3 weeks in the rehab, he passed by a mirror and he saw himself. But because the substance had a time to work itself out, he saw himself for the first time.
Wow.
And that made a difference. He was able to look in the mirror and see how far he drifted.
Wow.
And you see that drift? We need to see the drift. And he was able to
come to terms with himself.
I need help.
Well, at this time, we're going to take our first short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us. You're being Transforming Lives, one at a time.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor, or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to DCell's Tile and Ceiling Centre, Tobago Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic, and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cells Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters, and yes, windows. Plus, a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cells Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Do you need electrical and plumbing supplies from construction to finish? Then check out Voodoo's Enterprises Limited, Milford Road, Canaan, Tobago. Get LED bulbs and fixtures, septic tanks, water pumps, laminate flooring, Prescott power tools, and so much more. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. Call 280-2050 or 660-4970. Voodoo's Enterprises Limited. Tobago, Tobago. It's time once again for the highly anticipated KPPM's 4th Annual Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Birchwood Legacy Park in Lowlands, Tobago. Come out in your numbers and get familiar with various businesses as they display their goods and services, from jewelry to plants, draperies to household items, tiles to beautiful clothing, and so much more. Delicacies, food, and drinks will also be on sale. Don't you miss this. KPPM's Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November, Birchwood Legacy Park, Lowlands. Call 376-8798. Hi, I am Deanne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and I would like to introduce you to our brand new segment, Good Vibes, Good News. And this is where you have the opportunity to highlight your good news. You can send your 90 seconds video to our WhatsApp number 868-701-2099. That's 868-701-2099. Let's hear some of the good news that we never hear about. Good vibes, good news. Inspiring hope. Celebrating wins. Truly grateful.
Welcome back to the program. Well, Mr. Wills, I know you said you gave me permission to call you Donald, but Mr. Wills sounds okay.
Okay, we could work with that.
Right. Yeah. So we are talking about this young man who got the opportunity to now look at himself in the mirror. And I am just thinking, he was always there, but because the addiction took a hold of his life, everything changed. Tell us about some of the changes, because we are now looking at whenever someone is, someone has an addiction rather, you cannot be able to produce as you should. Your family life suffers, your social life suffers, and then of course it affects the entire community. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Our society glorifies some of these substances. Alcohol, for example. It's everywhere. It's propagated as something good to do. And not everybody that goes into it does become an alcoholic anyhow. But as a youth myself, when I started working, one of my pastimes after we get pay on a Friday was to go next door in the bar and go competition who could drink the most beers. The trick in this was that we go in a race to see who will finish the beer first, because the loser have to pay. Okay. That way we consuming a whole amount of it. We remember we going in the beach, we going on bed, we're not sure what will happen, but we enjoying ourselves. It's fun, it's recreation, it's nice, right? But what happens is that the desire to be the best prevents me from seeing when I'm in trouble sometimes. Because if I'm with 10 other co-workers and they don't get in trouble, but I am beginning to get in trouble, I wouldn't admit it because I don't want to be perceived as a weaker person.
Understood.
Can happen. In Westerns, we see them drinking, and even in movies today, they're trying to outdo one another who could drink the most.
Yes.
It's a social stigma not to be able to hold your heights. Whether it was in marijuana, whether it was in anything, the more a person could consume and still behave normal seems to be the goal of everybody. Not everybody's biology is made to handle that. And a lot of people begin to feel the consequences of it. And they can't admit it because it would be a shame to them to do so. It's terrible. Some people, based on, I know some quiet men, they're quiet in their life. And as soon as they start taking substances, they begin to become somebody.
Right.
It's hard for them to go back from that after, so they will continue seeking that because it's the only place in their existence where they can feel as if they are somebody.
Okay.
Normally they'll be kind of like quiet and you wouldn't hear them. They, what we call mousy, and they go about it, they do the work, and they're quiet, nice people, but from the time they drink, they transform.
And that is the thing. And that is the thing, because I have known persons, I mean, and you would know when they had a few drinks.
Yes.
And it's a total transformation for the negative.
Well, it wasn't always negative. It started off as fun.
Okay.
It progressed to that state where it begins to affect them adversely. It's kind of like the law of diminishing returns, right? In the beginning, we would drink to boost us to be able to enjoy life, but it has to come down. But when it comes down, it doesn't come back to ground zero, it goes a little below. It gets, and fast forwarding, people start using just to feel normal after.
Right.
You see the difference? At one time, we was using to go up. Now we just using to come back to normal again. If we don't do that, we're in a deficit. We anxious, we nervous, we in pain, uncomfortable.
And then we're looking at facing the pressures of life generally. And especially I know for men, which normally are the breadwinners of the home, when you're not in a position to provide, it is frustrating. And I know many men, because when you pass by the bars, 95%
Is men.
Men,
Yeah.
right? You'll get the little 5% women.
Correct.
But 95% are men. And from conversations that I would have had from some men is that this is just a way I just want to relax. I don't want nothing to bother me.
Yeah.
I dealing with some stress and I just want to drink my stress away. I just want to get it all. I just want to forget about it, even if it's for a little time. And that is where the problem comes in.
That is the surface. Under the surface, you have a person, because they are a man, they will be trying to control what is happening. If you give me a vehicle to drive, I will get in problems mastering it. So a lot of us using, and we're trying to master the using. Sometimes we see we're in trouble, so we will try a different way to do it.
Okay.
So there are a lot of people trying to get that mastery over the substances. From alcohol, go straight back. Because that is how we operate as humans.
Right.
When something is giving us trouble, we try to find a way around it. So we hear them, I can handle it.
Yes.
And I will try out shifting the type of substance I use. And I will change from wine to rum, white rum to red rum to whiskey to puncheon.
Yes.
I will try, and this is the person trying to get a handle to be able to use successfully.
Right.
And it's noble in that sense, except that it doesn't work.
Right. A week ago, I met a gentleman. I was up at the Western End. It's a gentleman that I know. And he stopped me. And I was like, hi, how are you doing? He said, nobody knows what I'm going through, He said, you don't know what I'm going through. Now, this gentleman lost his daughter a few months ago.
Condolences.
And he is still grieving. And when that man started to talk to me, he said, nobody knows what I'm going through, and I miss my daughter so much, and she died suddenly. Wow. And he said, and the tears started to come from his eyes. And he said, I'm just going to go out the road and just get some rum to drink. Because that is how I am dealing with it. And I had to take the time, I had to stop what I was doing to be able to really encourage that man. Because he saw this as his only way
Solution,
out.
yes.
The only solution. So I'm encouraging him to, talk with his family so that they could be able to be there as a support for each other. But I said to myself, he met me and he told me this. I am not sure if he would have told his other family members.
Correct, yeah.
But he was crying out on the inside. And it said to me that a lot of people, generally, a lot of people, they are dealing with so much and they don't know how to deal with it, and they use drugs and they use alcohol as a way of easing the pain.
Correct is right. If I start a complaint, it will make me less of a man. I might have to bear it up now. So we will choose that as an option.
Yes.
And it is a suppressant,
It does, yeah. But the chemical interference with your biology over time, and it's over time, it doesn't happen overnight.
Yes.
It begins at, again, diminishing process, where the more you do it, the less it benefits you.
Right.
And the deeper you go.
Of course, of course. Well, Marva, I want to bring you back into the conversation here. Let's talk about what is happening with our schools. We know that a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, and we have so many issues in our schools today. But let's just talk about this aspect.
Okay, so we live in a society that we take a drink for this and we take a drink for that.
Yes, that is true.
Somebody's born, we take a drink. Somebody dies, we take a drink. Somebody gets married, we take a drink.
It's your
We have a
birthday.
christening, it's your birthday, it's Friday, we drink for everything.
So this is our culture?
It is cultural. And part of the culture also, and it's not only now with our young men, but it's also with our young girls.
Yeah.
Rites of passage, the little, they're in the house, and you say, well, give the child a little drink, let him take a little taste. And without knowing it, we beginning to break them out
Correct.
Okay.
into alcohol. And as Donald rightly said earlier on, it's easier to bathe, but it's not everybody will drown.
Right.
And I experienced, and this is personally already many years ago, where a principal of the school literally called me in to take one of the children to the mental health department because she came to school drunk.
Wow.
And I have known of other instances where the young people, they drink to go to school because they masking different pains, different
Yes.
trauma.
Yes.
And they using alcohol. We have happening now in our culture, and I don't know where it's coming from, but a high percentage of persons using this rum with the high percent, not punching.
Punching.
A lot of people are using punching, and the alcohol percent in that is very, very high. Now back to the schools issue. When TREC was in operation, there was a summer that I think it was Scarborough Secondary School. They had to send a class because they had a high incident of drug use.
Okay.
So they sent some of the kids for the summer to attend the program to learn about it. Our young persons, they are exposed. We expose them in the homes to the alcohol.
Yes.
On the blocks, they are exposed to the marijuana with the decriminalization
Yes,
now of
yes,
marijuana.
yes.
You have marijuana in the homes. And I know in the district that I live where certain kids, they drop out of school.
Yeah.
And they're busy with the drugs and using and also trying to sell.
Yes.
So the percentage of persons, if you do a study, the younger they started the substance abuse is the more addictive they can get, especially like with alcohol when they start at a young age. So we need to educate. We need to educate our
knowledge,
children. We need to give them the information to know, because there are many myths out there saying that if you use this, you would be able to study better, you'll be able to concentrate.
Yes.
And the kids are so vulnerable that they are believing a lie.
Of course.
And they get trapped. Now, if they have information where, okay, there are some drugs out now, Cookie or Poly, or I'm not even too sure the name of it, where if you use it, it will help you concentrate, you'll be able to study, and these kids buying into that lie.
Yes.
I know the prison had a program recently where they would have recovered persons who are in prison go and speak to students. But Changing Lanes and even Trek, when it was Trek, had programs along that line to just go in, and there is also NADAP, I think it is, that they do some intervention, because I have gone already to the schools to share, and give out literature and material, but we really need to have it as a program in the schools to teach them, to give them the truth and let them not buy into the lie.
Correct. Of course. And of course, it all starts in the home,
Yes.
Because you have the parents first. You have the parents, they have to tell their children, they have to speak to their children, they have to speak to them about the dangers of drug use and alcohol use. And as Mr. Wills rightfully said, you go to the beach to bathe. Not everybody will drown, but some will.
Well, yes. But the addiction is not the drowning, it's when the person in trouble.
Right.
They ain't drunk yet, and I want us to highlight that part. We could still intervene.
If I may just add to, you have children coming from homes where both parents are using drugs. And it is normal. So they come now and they're introducing their normal to the other children.
Others.
If I may add to what is being said here, but I want to use a different program. About over 30 years ago, there was one most effective program that was launched in our countries, and that was Chase Charlie Away.
Okay.
I've never seen a program as effective as that.
Really?
It became so effective that the kids were telling big people, pick up that.
Okay.
I've seen it with my own eyes, and the people will do it. They blitz the TV, they blitz the radio, they blitz it on the school books. Charlie was a character and everybody could have seen him. It was working. I don't know why it stopped. But targeting the youths at that age, even without the parents, will have a great impact.
Yes.
Meaning that the effects of alcohol and drugs has to be more visible. We think alcoholism is a joke. Most of us. If we see a drunk man going up the road, it's laughter.
It's a culture.
It's laughter.
Especially if he falls in the drain.
Yes. It's not something for us to be traumatized by. But they're not showing us the domestic abuse. They're not showing us the amount of accidents that take place that kill not only the drinker but the other drivers who they impact. We need to also bring these things more visible.
Yes.
That people can make more informed choices as to why should I make a choice to do that. But targeting the children, priceless.
Yes.
Priceless.
And even now, with the advent of social media, you would think that there will be much more programs. Listen. You would think that there will be much more programs now on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, but when you look on these social media, I mean, many times it's bacchanal, it's commerce, it's confusion, it's obscenities, it's music, violent music, and then we wonder why our children are emulating these so-called influencers, but they are influencing your children, but negatively.
Yes.
So we have got to push back. It's a no-nonsense thing, we have got to push back if it is that we are to save our generation and to save the next umpteen generations.
Correct,
we have got to push back whatever programs we have to do, and I'm speaking directly into the camera. Whatever programs we have to implement, whatever we have to do, each person can do something in their own area. It may be small. You may have something in your heart to say, well, you know what? I want to start a little Sunday school. I want to start a little community outreach for the children. Do it. Have the community center and use the facilities to be able to make impact. Because whether we realize it or not, you know, we are losing our generation. And we have got to push back. We have got to do something. We can't just sit idly by and say, these young people, I ain't able with them. We have to be able with them. I am saying we have got to do more. Whatever we're doing. And hats off to the NGOs, Changing Lanes and NADAP and so many other institutions that are actually impacting lives. I am encouraging other stakeholders to come and partner with these organizations so that we can see some change. We have got to see it. We have got to do something. We're losing our children. We're losing our young men. We're losing our young women. We're losing our parents. We're losing our families. And it is not just okay to sit back and take it. I'm saying no. We have got to push back.
Correct, yeah. One of the most important institutions then again would be the NGOs, the rehabs that are trying to help. Because they come like the lifeguards on the beach. They would be the one to do forced resuscitation. It's necessary. I can't highlight that enough. Downstairs we have about probably 2 or 3 booths. And they have markers in the sea with buoys and rope telling people that is knowledge. Don't go beyond this point. And there are people monitoring. The NGOs like Changing Lanes, that's their role, that's what they do. Parents could then rest assured, if my child gets in trouble, there is a place that they can be.
And we need that in Tobago.
The schools need to know that. The courts need to know that.
Of course.
I have been to meetings of the 12-step programs where 14-year-olds have been referred by the courts to the fellowship. 14 years for alcohol abuse.
I'm telling you, we're in trouble, you know. We are in trouble. Whether we want to believe it or not, whether we want to throw a blanket over it or turn a blind eye, we are in trouble. But at this time, we're going to take another short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to DCell's Tile and Ceiling Centre, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. DCell's Tile and Ceiling Centre also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters and yes, windows. Plus a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at DCell's Tile and Ceiling Centre. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Do you need electrical and plumbing supplies from construction to finish? Then check out Voodoo's Enterprises Limited, Milford Road, Canaan, Tobago. Get LED bulbs and fixtures, septic tanks, water pumps, laminate flooring, Prescott power tools, and so much more. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. Call 280-2050 or 660-4970. Voodoo's Enterprises Limited. Tobago, Tobago. It's time once again for the highly anticipated KPPM's 4th Annual Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Birchwood Legacy Park in Lowlands, Tobago. Come out in your numbers and get familiar with various businesses as they display their goods and services, from jewelry to plants, draperies to household items, tiles to beautiful clothing, and so much more. Delicacies, food, and drinks will also be on sale. Don't you miss this. KPPM's Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November, Birchwood Legacy Park, Lowlands. Call 376-8798. Hi, I am Deanne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and I would like to introduce you to our brand new segment, Good Vibes, Good News. And this is where you have the opportunity to highlight your good news. You can send your 90 seconds video to our WhatsApp number 868-701-2099. That's 868-701-2099. Let's hear some of the good news that we never hear about. Good vibes, good news. Inspiring hope. Celebrating wins. Truly grateful.
Welcome back to the program. My guest today, Ms. Marva Berkeley and Mr. Donald Wills, and we are talking about drug rehabilitation. Well, Marva, let us talk about the establishment of a proper drug rehab center in Tobago and what this will mean for the people of Tobago.
Okay, so first and foremost, I must say that we must have a drug rehab. We had one, we saw the benefits of it for reasons unbeknownst to me that was closed down, but I think where we are now, when I look around Scarborough, when I look around Tobago, there are no end of bars. When you look at the blocks in all the communities, there are no end to the drug blocks. We need, starting with at least one drug rehab. Now, I know funding could be an issue and it depends on perspective, you know, what we deem as important and what we deem as not important. In a society, you have different areas of fallout. You have the health fallout, so you have hospitals, you have an area where you have to educate the children, you have schools. We need a drug rehab.
Yes.
Not to get political, but just to mention, when I listened to certain parts of this budget, I found that there was an emphasis on the social aspect of things. A drug rehab is something needed in any society where persons can go to get help. Now, I know some persons would say, well, they look for that or they buy that, and that's that's lack of understanding.
Yes.
We behave that way when the problem has not reached into our homes and into our streets and neighborhoods.
Correct.
So there is no doubt as to whether or not we need it. Now, the funding for it, as any NGO, you have to have persons that would have to buy into this. Yes. Tobago society is a small society. How much can we really get persons or, you know, like corporate sponsors or business? I mean, Digicel did a good job, but that was just for part. They needed to partner with the THA. So I am appealing publicly to the THA to reconsider their position, because, you know, there was a nice healthy amount in the budget and maybe a little 1%
right.
could go towards the unfortunate in society. In addition to that, in the budget, there was a lot of emphasis on agriculture. Now, agriculture tied into drug rehabilitation as you know, a program that works hand in hand, because they even do that at the prison. They have mixed farming where, you know, they have planting, and they also, so that the guys, when they come out, they can do something.
Yes.
And they can get another way of life. We had, we came this close again. We got a place, there was a nice area in the back that could have been used for farming. But of course, the rent to be paid,
right.
you know, we couldn't raise that sort of money to pay the rent. So it will impact our society if we have a drug rehab. Persons who are seeking help for their loved ones,
right.
They don't have to go to Trinidad, because family support is a major, and Donald, you would share on that, it's a major aspect of the whole rehabilitation process. The family must be there,
yes,
to give that support. You know, we are standing with you, we here with you. And I believe that if we have the right buy-in, we have lots of persons like Donald. Donald moved from Trinidad to Tobago, and what Donald does is he helps in 2 different programs, the alcohol program, the narcotics program, and even at one time in the prison program.
Right.
And we have lots of persons who are willing, retired persons, to volunteer time, and you know, so we need the Tobago House of Assembly, and we need the society. We also need the churches to all come together and say, listen, we could do this, because it will impact, it will affect us all.
Of course, and I was even thinking about the private sector getting involved.
Yes.
Because if it is, let's say, one person decides to give a piece of land, might be a 1 or 2 lots of land, and then you could be able to say, well, okay, let's approach some of the hardwares and see if we can get some kind of contribution, and then we have other persons, as we usually say, one will full basket.
And we can start with a walk-in program where it's just a day, and then we could go into a living program. You know, we could take it, we could just keep advancing it, but it needs to grow.
Right. I want to find out if persons, let's say family members, because I know you have a program right now where persons can get some kind of support. If persons want to get in contact with you, they have a family member who really needs some help, how can they come and get into contact with you?
All right, so I will give first Mr. Patrick George. He is the person that started the prison in 1996 and has been faithful from then until now, right? And he also runs Narcotics Anonymous. His number is 781-9978, and that's Mr. Patrick George. We also have Donald Wills. And Donald will give his telephone information. And my own is 731-5603, and the name is Marva, Berkeley. So sometimes, like parents, because the addicted person, they may not be the one to make the first reach out.
Yes,
correct.
But you have the loved ones and the family making that first, contact, and then we build on that.
Because they are the ones that will see the drastic change in their loved one's life. They would see that, as it were, their life is just going down the drain from where they were to where they are now, and they would want to definitely reach out. Mr. Wills.
Thank you.
Yes. So tell us, give us your closing remarks and...
I like the lifeguard analogy because it's like the first responder.
Yeah.
And even though the ambulance may come, and formal medical may be done, the importance of the lifeguard being present on site, priceless.
Yeah.
The value of having a rehab in your area that is rife with substance and alcohol abuse is priceless. I don't see it as a need as much as it's also a right of the people. We have a right to be able to be offered abilities to recover. And people who are willing to give up their time and their heart and their love and it will make us a society proud to be a part of.
Yes.
Right? Tobago normally is perceived as, even from some Tobagoans, as if they're considered less. But you're not less. You're just as deserving of everything that you need, and a rehab is something you need. There are families in pain, some in denial. Some give up on the people that causing the pain. People leave their jobs and go to the streets. It's real. And even though the homes could see the drift of the person suffers the people in the home too.
Yeah.
In my own life, I caused a lot of pain to a lot of people. I can't do the pain, but seeing me today, a lot of them happy that, well, I'm one of the success stories.
Of course.
And if it wasn't for places like Cora and even Ward 1 in San Fernando, which is supposed to be a psych ward, right? They do offer space for people to kind of come off the street, detox a bit, get information, and get reestablished in patterns that would be more healthy when they are able to return to society. priceless. We need this. Our fight against it, if we do like the ostrich and dig our head in the sand,
Exactly.
the same addict would come thief with shoes, thief with pants, and go with it because we play that.
Yes.
BSc.
I said on a program some weeks ago that if it is that these same private sectors and these businesses, business people and the government and even us in society, so this is a blanket for everyone. If it is that we don't deal with the issues and the problems that we are having now with our young people, these are the same people that you have to employ 5 or 10 years later. These are the same people that may take your truck and go with your whole van load of goods.
Be the ones to distress
These
you.
are the people that will end up distressing
Correct,
you
it's
when
right.
you want to sleep in the night. They're breaking into your home.
Correct, it's right.
So I'm saying that whatever we can do, the onus is on us to do something. It is not just okay to have your business and say, okay, I'm just making money. Yeah, I'm hiring persons, but I'm saying, let's do a little more. Don't just look at it as a business. I'm making money. I'm flying all over the world. My family is okay. And we look at the situation that is taking place in our society. And we have the ability, we have the resources to do so. I'm saying, why not put an extra hand and say, yes, it's good, you sponsor sports in match, or you sponsor swim meet, or you sponsor this, but I'm saying this is a drug rehab center. And it's things like these that matters the most. Sport is good enough. I'm not bashing sport. I love sport. Please send more money to sport. But these are the critical needs that we are facing in society now. And I would like to implore you. I more feel like if this program is just to speak to everyone out there.
Correct.
You know, because we are recognizing the seriousness of the situation. We're in a grievous situation, you know, whether we believe it or not.
Yeah.
So I am using this platform to speak to all of us, myself included, because I am certain there is something I can do to do more, to contribute more. I might be able to give 10 blocks for the building. If 100 persons give 10 blocks, you know, the building is complete, right? or near. At least we have 2 rooms or a room.
Yeah, it's a start.
Yeah, but sometimes we want to have so much to start with. Let's just start. And I would really like to encourage you and say congratulations to the Changing Lanes committee and team and what you all have been doing. But I want to also encourage you to just start. Maybe might be some letter you could send to some businesses. You may be amazed how some persons might say, you know, I have a piece of land. So you all could work this land, and they work the land, sell some stuff, and then get the building started. So I want to encourage you today, even as I'm encouraging my viewers, you know, let's make a start. Let's do something, all right? Marva, I want to give you the opportunity to leave your closing comments, and of course, Mr. Wills, maybe touch on an area maybe that we did not touch on, or reiterate something that you would have said earlier.
In closing, I'd just like to share why I have a heart for this, you know, this drug program. And by growing up in Scarborough as a little child, my parents, they had a heart for the street people and the addicts. And they would give us, persons would come, and my mom would give us food to give to them, or give them clothes and different, you know, situations. And I grew up close to the prison also. So just being in that environment in Scarborough, close to prison, it gave me a heart of compassion, and my walk with God even heightened that compassion. And God cares about every person. The word said that if a sparrow falls to the ground, He's aware of it. And when we were coming in, there was a bird, a dove.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
dove.
Nice.
And this dove went into the class, and you know, we went out, Donald and myself, and we prayed for the dove, and we gave it had some water right there, and we gave that dove a little water. And in much that same way, we have to have a heart for persons who fall through the cracks, who, what is their fault or is not their fault, at least we must have something in place to give them an opportunity for a changed life, for them to be able to change from a lane of destruction into the narrow lane, an upward lane, a lane that will bring them an abundant life that Christ promised. So that's my closing remark.
Yes, Mr. Wills?
It's good to be here. I'm happy that I am here to start with, and I'm happy that I can reach everyone outside there.
Yes.
Everything God did is perfect, yes? We know this. And when God made me with something called an immune system. That if something impacts my body will develop a response to it. Drugs and alcohol, well, people might want me to say alcohol, but bear with me.
It is what it is.
It acts like a virus sometimes that has impacted our society.
Yeah.
And if our society is healthy and alive, we have to respond. Response is like what Marva is talking about. Changing lane is a bodily response state that says, hey, there are something that's rising up that would work against the virus that is attacking the body and keeping it sick. When people are being impacted through crime, it's where these things are now taken away from the body. Health needs to be restored.
Yes.
And the more institutions we can get and the more people we can get on board rising up from the body itself to fight what is happening in the body will then guarantee the health being restored back to the body again. We cannot ignore it because we know what it's like to be sick.
Yes.
And even though the doctors give us medication, it's because just to help our bodies fight. And Marva is a child of the soil. She is part of the body fighting back. All we need now is just the necessary cooperation from the public at large, from the businesses, from the government, from the churches, wherever it can be found, to add value to the new wave that would now roll over, that would provide a forum where these people that are in the water struggling can be rescued and resuscitated and reinserted back into society healthy again.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Wills, Mr. Donald Wills, and Ms. Marva Berkeley for so competently handling this topic today. And it is a topic that I know it's very dear to many persons, because especially for persons who have seen the demise of their loved ones. Nobody likes seeing their loved one on the streets. Nobody likes seeing their loved one hooked on drugs and alcohol, that they have neglected their duties, they have abandoned their families, they have abandoned their children, they have abandoned their jobs. You know, nobody wants to see that. So I am appealing on this program today. We need to have a drug rehab center again in Tobago. It's not a want, it's not a desire, it's a need. And I am trusting that as you view today, you don't just look at this as yet another program, but look at it as an opportunity where you can have to make an impact on your community, to make an impact in your society, to make an impact on the young men and the young women that you see walking around daily. You can do it. We can do it, but we have all got to do it together. So for those who have fallen through the cracks and you feel like all hope is lost, all hope is not lost. Correct. Because there are still some people who are supporting you. There are still some people who are there praying for you and believing that things would turn around in your life. So, as usual, I leave you with the definition of transformation, which is an internal shift that brings us into alignment with our fullest potential. Hey, we've got this. See you next time.
Tobago, Tobago. It's time once again for the highly anticipated KPPM's 4th Annual Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Birchwood Legacy Park in Lowlands, Tobago. Come out in your numbers and get familiar with various businesses as they display their goods and services, from jewelry to plants, draperies to household items, tiles to beautiful clothing, and so much more. Delicacies, food, and drinks will also be on sale. Don't you miss this. KPPM's Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November, Birchwood Legacy Park, Lowlands. Call 376-8798.
Hi, I am Deanne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and we are in a celebratory mode as we celebrate our 1st anniversary. Yes, 1 year of bringing to you programs that are relevant, inspiring, educational, uplifting, and informative. I would like to sincerely thank Almighty God and you, our treasured viewers, for your continuous love and support for the program. I look forward to many more programs as we continue on this journey of transforming lives one at a time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.